thing to actually try to, yeah, okay. And so what happened with me was that, watch this, I was so busy, I was the strong one, I was the one that everybody was depending on, I was the preacher, I was the, how they said, I was the next David, and I was this prophet and all of this, but what happened was all these people that were around me, they seen my gifts, but they couldn't see what I was dealing with.
Say that.
And so what happens is a lot of times as men, we just continue to operate instead of dealing with our brokenness. But we got to realize and understand is that God can't use you to bless nobody until you get to a place where you ain't broken anymore. And so what happened with me, just to be completely transparent, was I was at work. I was a security guard at the time, and I was on the floor in the restroom, and I was beating on the floor, trying to hurt the floor like I was gonna crack the ground because I was so strong. But what happened was God had to tell me to stop. And the reason why God had to tell me to stop, he says, because I'm gonna use you even in a way that you don't know that I'm gonna use you. And see, what happens most of the time, we think we're going through the stuff for no reason, but can I tell you that sometimes God take you through stuff so you can be a testimony to somebody else. So stop thinking that God just having you going through these financial problems, or God having you going through these marital problems, or whatever your issue may be. God ain't sending you through that stuff for no reason. But as men, it's hard for us to identify that because we like to control the outcome. But when we gonna get to a place where we trust God more than we trust ourselves?
Say that.
When we gonna get to a place where we trust God more than we trust that paycheck? When we gonna get to a place where we trust God more than we trust the women and the children? And so God is saying that I really can't use you because you don't trust me. So, oh man.
You flowing,
I was giving a testimony, I'm sorry. And so what happened was, if I be completely honest, was I had a woman for Monday, a woman for Tuesday,
Come on.
a woman for Wednesday, a woman for Thursday,
Be
a
real,
woman for
be
Friday.
real.
Saturday was family day, and then on the Sabbath I rest. Y'all ain't gonna be,
Come on.
because you know on the Sabbath day, that's when we ain't supposed to do nothing. So I thought to myself, if I gave God Sunday, then he could deal with everything else I was doing on the other days. And so what happened was I ended up marrying my Wednesday, but I was still messing with Tuesday. We're talking about being broken.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize that I was broken because as long as I was growing up, I was taught as if as long as I'm preaching and as long as I'm providing that everything is okay. But God is saying it's a reason why it's dysfunction in your life because you won't allow me to deal with the places that's really attacking you the most. Because as men, we love for people to praise us at what we good at.
Yeah.
Right? Like if I was a hooper and I told you I ran track. And so the reason why I got off the football team is because I wasn't good at it. But I didn't realize that football was teaching me the physicality of life, and it made me tougher. And see, what happens is a lot of times as men, we don't want to deal with them hard things because we don't want people to see us not being good at something. And it speaks to our pride. But God had me put that helmet back on. God had me put them shoulder pads back on. And he said, son, go back in the game because it's in those weak places that I'm going to get the glory out of.
Come on.
Oh, okay. Let me give y'all scripture. 2 Corinthians. You know, 2 Corinthians 12. And Paul was in there and he was talking. And he said, I was giving a thorn in my flesh. Now understand this. This is crazy to me. Because you got to get to the point where you stop blaming everybody else. And you just begin to thank God that he gave you something. It might not be the thing that you wanted. It might not be the thing that you desired. But at least he gave you something.
Say that.
God cared enough about you to give you something, even though it hurt you, it was going to benefit you down the line. That's why God stopped you. That's why God had you get the divorce. That's why God had you sleep in your car. I'm just telling my testimony. But what happened was God gave me a thorn because a thorn was going to remind me that he was still in control.
Woo!
And as a man, it's hard for me to accept that I'm not in control. And so, Dr. Antoine, I do stuff outside of his will because at least I'm still in control.
Yeah.
Y'all missed that. I do stuff illegally.
Be real.
Because at least I'm still in control.
Yeah.
do stuff outside of my household because at least I'm still in control and I can control the narrative. But God is saying, when are you going to get to the point where you get in the passenger seat?
Come on.
When?
Submit. Come on.
Because as long as you're driving, I don't care how many times you stop and fill up your car, you will never get to your intended destination being the driver and not the passenger. Because God says that I have to lead you and I have to give you ability. But what's wrong with a lot of us is that we keep trying to go over God. We keep trying to go around God. We keep trying to handle it on our own instead of letting God do this thing.
Yeah.
And God is saying, when you gonna get to the place where you put me back in control? So I told you I gotta give y'all scripture because I grew up traditional Baptist and I was taught, you know, if I don't give 3 points of hooping and a holler, I ain't did nothing. I know y'all ain't never been through that. But what happened was, through my traditions, I was trying to minister to folks and then I would go home empty every day. Y'all ever been there where it feel like you going to work and you going to church and you going to school and you doing all of this, but you the one still empty? Y'all ever felt like everybody else was benefiting, everybody else was being blessed, and then at the end of the day, you got to go home all by yourself and deal with it on your own? And God was telling me the reason why I kept you on empty is because you couldn't handle full. Because if you don't trust God while you empty, why would he make you full? Here it is. If you don't trust God to stop selling drugs, then why would God give you the ability to own your own business? God said you got to take it out of your hands and put it back in my hands. So, recovering from brokenness. Truth be told, because we like to do that on Facebook, right? We like to put out those little truth be told moments that really ain't truth, you know. We post them old scrawny pictures from high school, not realizing that we still dealing with the same issues that we was dealing with in high schools. You know, we like to post the pictures of our kids, even though we really ain't taking care of them like we supposed to. But we want to put the image out there in front of everybody. Why? Because it looks good for people. But God say what you do in closed doors, what you do in private, is really what's going to make you a man. And see, what happens is we got to stop living for the expectation and the acknowledgement of other people and just say, God, deal with me. Because if you deal with me, I don't care what they think about my family. If you deal with me, I don't care if they say I ain't got 2 Mercedes-Benzes sitting in the driveway. God, if you just deal with me, then I know it's going to be more than enough. So here it is. I had a moment where I say, God, why would you give me a thorn? Because that is one of the most uncomfortable and painful things that you could give somebody. God said the reason why I gave you a thorn is because you wouldn't appreciate a rose. Come on, man. I say, wait, that don't even make sense. Y'all ain't never had the moments where it was you and God and he would say something to you and you'd be like, that don't even make sense. Like, I can't even decode that. And God said, because if I started off with a rose, you would have never appreciated the pain that I took you through. God said, and what happened to me, if I can be completely transparent, was I was praying, God, make me a better man. But what happened was God ended up making me a better man for another woman. Got quiet. And a lot of times we don't pray those things because, again, we want God to allow us to control the narrative. And so I say, God, why would you give me a thorn? God said the reason why I gave you a thorn is because when you get to the place where you don't want to pray no more, when you get to the place when you want to go back out on the block, when you get to the place where you want to operate on your own, I got to send you a reminder that lets you know that I'm still in control. But watch this, watch this. And I'm through right here because we got some amazing people. Watch what happens. We're talking about dealing with your brokenness.
Yeah.
If you go on and you read a little bit further in that package, in that passage, Paul says, I take pleasure. I marvel at God in my brokenness with this thorn in my side. He says, I begin to thank God for all of the stuff that he had already took me through. Yeah. I begin to honor God for my pain. I begin to honor God for my brokenness. And then he goes and he says something that's real crazy to me. He says the reason why I take pleasure because when I'm weak, that's when I'm strong.
Yeah.
And you get to a place where you can be weak before God, that's where real strength comes from. Strength don't come from smoking a weed. Strength don't come from the alcohol bottle. Strength comes with being broken before God. Because if I can get broken before God, then he can put me back together.
Yeah.
When I'm weak, when is the last time you've been weak? I'm weak right now. I'm going to say this and sit down. When I'm weak,